What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 166 of the TASTYFLIX, a weekly podcast where we talk about random things in gaming. My name's Seth, and joining me today is Chevy. Chevy, hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you haven't had anything taken from you without any kind of reason or explanation, and then had it reinstated later.
Not to my knowledge.
All right. We'll get into that in a sec. But hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully you're excited to have the conversation we're going to be having today. We got a lot to talk about. This is the first TASTYCast of May, so we got a lot to cover, including game releases, so stay tuned for that. But before we get into all the things we typically get into when it comes to TASTYCast, there's a couple things I want to talk about. I alluded to something that happened to me. It was a brief thing, but as you guys know, we have a side channel called TASTYFLIX where we do movie content, anime content, TV eventually, and we've been having fun with that. It's not been the priority of what we do around here. Of course, TLG is the priority, but we've been having fun just kind of like having a dedicated place for that kind of thing. Me and you have been doing a review series for Demon Slayer, my first time watching through it. We did 16 reviews for 16 individual episodes. And then our latest video was the Northman review, a movie that just came out recently. And then suddenly one day I woke up and TASTYFLIX was just gone. Couldn't access it, couldn't sign in. It was like, this isn't a thing. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Googled it, went on YouTube, looked it up. It's like, it's been terminated because it broke all these rules and shit. I'm like, I didn't hear about that. So, of course, I checked my email to see if I heard anything from YouTube. I didn't hear anything. They didn't say shit. And then I started looking into how to appeal. There's a really annoying process where you have to have your URL to be able to appeal. You can't even try to appeal without that URL. The problem is if you're not at a certain level on YouTube, you don't get a customized URL. So I had no idea what that was. Luckily, I watched a video. The guy said he went through his history to find it and eventually worked. That's what I did. I appealed it. I was very detailed on what I'm willing to do to fix whatever the problem is. I would have appreciated some kind of feedback, some kind of like, hey, this is what you did wrong, but I never got that. And I waited, and within like 30 minutes, it was back. So brief little problem we have with the TASTYFLIX channel, but it is back. I'm glad to have it back. We only have 18 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe over there if you want more content from us. But even with just 18 subscribers, it was disturbing to have something we've put hours of work into, many hours, just kind of deleted off the face of the earth out of nowhere. That was the biggest thing that bothered me. I was like, so what I've heard is true. YouTube can just fucking nuke your shit without saying anything. I do think it was an automation thing. I don't think it was a person, because when I appealed to a real human, it was fixed very quick. So I want to give a shout out to YouTube. Very prompt on the appeal. I appreciated that. But I want that to be a warning for anybody who's trying to get into the YouTube game, especially this late in YouTube. Follow TOS. I still don't know what I did wrong. I can guess, but nothing happened after I got reinstated.
I think you just pissed off the AI somehow.
Yeah. Probably all the Demon Slayers just like, what the fuck? This guy's just taking episodes. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But yeah, follow TOS, but also make sure you have your URL if you're still an early channel, because if you do get in trouble, you're going to need that to appeal. So don't let that happen to you, because it's a lesson I learned, and it's very frustrating. Luckily with TLG, we have a custom URL. We've been around for a little bit. We have a certain amount of subscribers, certain amount of time put in. So that would have been a lot easier to appeal, and I would have been way more fucking pissed if that got taken down. But yeah, anyway, TASTYFLIX is back. Make sure to go check it out. Maybe you didn't know what it was. I actually put a little thing out on the, YouTube, you can put out like posts, kind of like social media, so people can read stuff.
Community page stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I put one of those out, and somebody was like, I don't even know what TASTYFLIX is, but more content sounds cool. It sucks I got taken down. I was like, I should probably let people know what TASTYFLIX is. So anyway, movies, anime, TV. And then the last thing I want to say about TASTYFLIX before we move on to the next quick thing I want to throw out there. We were doing the Demon Slayer review series. We started I had this plan after it got taken down. I was like, well, fuck it. I'm not going to just like give up on working on that. So we'll just review the season. Fuck it. Like I don't want to redo 16 episodes of Demon Slayer reviews. So we had decided that we moved forward on 4 episodes. So I think now we're on episode 20. Channel got reinstated, and now I'm like, well, that's awkward. So we are not doing the per episode review we were doing before. It has stopped at 16. I apologize if you guys, the 18 of you, really want us to continue doing that again. Be vocal about it. I'd be open to going back and doing that. But as of right now, the plan is we're going to finish season 1 and review season 1. And then we're going to watch season 2 and review season 2. It's less episodes, but I think the overall conversation will be a little more, I guess, precise in the whole thing. I guess watching episodes and reviewing each episode is very precise, but you get what I'm saying. It's a little more digestible, I guess, unless you're hardcore wanting to know what we think about every single episode. So anyway, moving forward, the plan is we're going to review the seasons of Demon Slayer. So we're almost done with season 1, so expect that review over on TASTYFLIX soon.
I also think it's worth noting that even though there'll be less individual shorter episodes, I do think it opens up a door for us to be able to potentially consume more content because there's less editing involved.
Yeah.
So it might be a little less, but you might in the long run get more total shows out of it. So
yeah, and it's all, we're just experimenting over on TASTYFLIX, so things may change as we go through it. But again, not the priority. TLG is, so that's what we're doing. But just wanted to let you guys know what's going on with TASTYFLIX. It is back up, it is running. Make sure to go subscribe to it and expect more stuff over there. Also, a real quick thing I wanted to throw out there is I said a while back that I was starting a TikTok. I think it was before 2020 that I was talking about that. And since then, I haven't done much with it. But recently, I have been uploading pretty regularly over on TikTok. So if you have a TikTok, look me up, Tasty Loot Gaming. My name's Tasty Senpai. What I'm doing on my TikTok is essentially just throwing clips out there. So all the episodes we put out, I'm cutting like 40-second, 1-minute clips off these episodes. So maybe you're too busy to watch our episodes. I prefer you watch our episodes, and you want to just kind of see some of the highlights. I get bored at work sometimes. I got some time on my hands, and I just cut some clips out. So if you're interested in that, I'm also making some original content on TikTok. I've done a couple things over there that's only on TikTok. If I end up doing something that's like specific enough for TikTok, I don't know, I was humoring the idea of doing like these quick top 3 or top 5 things. I would bring them over and put them on this channel because this is the priority. But anyway, as of right now, it's just a clip channel. So if you're curious about that, if you're just on TikTok, go ahead and follow me, and yeah, I'll follow back. I follow everybody back, which is not good because I got like this rush of bots following me all of a sudden recently, and I just follow anybody who follows me. I'm like, okay, and now my feed's all fucked up. So and my DMs is just full of people going like, hey, how's it going? Hey, just like sending gifts and stuff. I'm like, these people all want something from me. This is creepy. So anyway, I'm on TikTok, Tasty Loot Gaming. Check me out. Do you have a TikTok you want to shout out?
not that I put content on, so no.
Okay. All right. So that is the 2 quick little advertisements. All right. So it's May, and it's the first Tastecast of May. And every first Tastecast of any month, we go through game releases. The list is very short this month, as it was last month, which is fine because I'm still playing catch up. This is via thegamer.com. We've been using them pretty regularly because I think they got a pretty good setup for their list. And we're going to go through this. We're going to talk about hype and not hype for all the games in May. Also, shout out to Chevy. His birthday's coming up very soon. He's a May baby. So make sure to say happy birthday to him soon. Just do it this episode. All right. Moving forward, let's jump into this. So, as of recording, it is the 11th. Holy shit, already. Okay, so on May 2nd, we got Sifu Vengeance Edition on PS4 and PS5. Then on May 5th, we got Trek 2 Yomi, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC. Is that not on PlayStation? I did not know that. Interesting. Let me know in the comments if there is a error there. I also didn't know it came out on the 5th. That's crazy. We'll talk about it. May 5th, also, we got Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters on PC only. May 10th, we got Salt and Sacrifice. I didn't know that came out either. PS4, PS5, and PC. Then we got on May 10th, Eluden Chronicle Rising on Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Apparently, this is the Xbox month. May 10th, we also got this War of Mine Final Cut on PS5, Xbox Series. From what I know, this is just the game, I guess, with a little bit more content, and it's like just optimized for modern consoles,
new systems,
which is interesting. May 13th, we got Evil Dead the game coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then on May 19th, we got Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. I don't know what that is because there's all these different Vampire the Masquerade games coming out for some reason on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. So everything. May 19th, we got Deliver Us the Moon, PS5, Xbox Series. And then also, no, not also. May 20th, we got Dolmen on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Then on the 25th of May, we got Sniper Elite 5 on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. Then on the 27th, we got Pac-Man Museum on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. And then last but not least, or could be the least, it does not sound that interesting, May 31st, SnowRunner, PS5, Xbox Series. Chevy, any of these games calling to you? Any games you must have, and any games you curious about?
At some point or another, I plan to pick up both Trek of Yumi, or To Yumi, and Sifu. I just haven't gotten around to either of them yet. I could have swore Salt and Sacrifice was out already. I mean, I guess it technically is for us, but maybe it was early access or something. I don't know.
Well, there is an original game. This is the sequel to it.
Okay.
It's Salt and Sanctuary.
Yeah. That's right. Okay. And nothing else is really calling to me. I will say, if you haven't played this War of Mine, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's a little rough, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a bleak game, and then they one up it with fucking Frostpunk.
Yeah,
which is another just bleak ass game. They're like, bro, the struggle.
It's funny because I played another game similar, and I can't remember. It's like 60 seconds to something. I can't remember. Anyways, you're in a bunker the whole time, and you have to survive like an after the world end thing.
You play that.
Yeah, and it's not as bleak because it's a little more cartoony and whatnot, but same type of game. But I think this War of Mine is tonally better. So
yeah. Nothing else?
Nope.
All right. Well, I got Sifu. I've played it. It's cool. I recommend it. So I probably won't be picking that up unless I don't know what Vengeance Edition is. So let me know in the comments. I can probably just look it up after too. But yeah. Trek to Yomi, I 100% was planning on picking up. I apparently just did not hear about when it released, so I will be picking that for sure. Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate, I'm 100% picking up. I was curious about it, but then I just read a review that said it's like one of the best XCOM games, like style games out there. I was like, that's fucking dope. So yeah, it's like XCOM except for it's Warhammer. So
not a huge 40K fan, but that's cool.
Yeah, I really like that. For some reason, they just make a lot of Warhammer games, and a lot of them are shit, but every once in a while they fucking make a really cool one.
Yeah.
And so every time I hear Warhammer now when it comes to games, I'm like, is it gonna be shit or is it gonna be really good? There's no in between. Well, there's one game I thought was like, this game could have been good, but it's shit. Well, I guess it's shit. Anyway, I will be picking that up for sure. Salt and Sacrifice, I also am curious about. I like the first one. I never beat it, but it's like a cool 2D Dark Souls style game. Mm-hmm. Pretty neat. I'm curious about this War of Mine Final Cut. I really like the original game a lot. So I would like to see if they've done anything to overhaul this or if it's just a port. From what I read, it was vague, saying it is optimized for modern consoles, which could just mean it's just runs on there now. So cool, whatever.
60 frames per second. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how much they're doing to it, but if it's enough, I would pick it up. It's a good game. Evil Dead the game, very hyped for this. Can't wait for this. It's coming out soon. I'll be picking this up day one. I don't remember if it has an early access thing or not, though. So maybe I should look into that because maybe I can play it right now. But yeah, really want to play this a lot. And there's a video out that I kind of do a TLG reacts to where they answer a bunch of questions about it. But yeah, really hyped. I don't know which Vampire the Masquerade game this is. So I can't really say much on that. I know there's... I don't know. I'm not picking that up. Sniper Elite 5, I would be curious about it if I knew more about it. I like Sniper Elite, but they start to feel very samey as you play them. But yeah, the sniping and the X-ray vision on the shots are always really fun. So I may pick that up. I just got to look into it. Don't give a fuck about Pac-Man. Don't give a fuck about SnowRunner. And I don't know what Dolman is. So, yeah, it seems like I'm going to be picking up quite a few of these games. But the one that's the highest priority for me is Evil Dead the game. I really want to play that. And then, yeah. That's all I got. Anything else you got to say? All right. Really. Short and sweet month. Actually packed with quite a few games for me, but not a whole lot of must-haves, but plenty of games I definitely want to check out. So let us know in the comments, what games are you guys looking forward to playing, or what are you playing already that has come out this month? What are you stoked about? What are you not stoked about? Maybe there's something on here that you're like, I'm definitely not fucking picking that shit up. Are you curious about anything? I saw a lot of people kind of go with Evil Dead like, I don't know, it looks pretty cool, but what's the replayability going to be like? I'll be able to answer that once I play it. And yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to game releases in May. All right, that was quick. Let's move over to what we've been playing, where we talk about what we've been playing in the last week. Let's start with you.
Okay. Well, to start with, I played, I think about 13 hours of Oxygen Not Included. Can't really talk about too much. It's the game of the month, but it was not quite what I was expecting, but it is reminiscent to me of... What the hell is that game called? It's like the Fallout mobile game that came out.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I forget what it's called, though.
Anyways, it's pretty similar to that. If you are familiar with that game, I won't say too much more. But yeah, so that was a surprise for me because I knew it was a survival game. I just didn't realize how it played. So, yeah. Other than that, I haven't played a whole lot last week.
It might be a short taste cast.
I mostly played Final Fantasy 14. I've had the itch to play again. So I've been leveling up my tanks and my ranged physical, which for those who don't play, that's, like the archer, the person with the gun, aka the machinist, and the dancer. And been trying to raid. Problem with raiding with adults is, adult things happen and sometimes you can't. So the last weekend we did get to raid, and we finally started practicing the next fight, which should have done months ago at this point. But every weekend something's come up with someone, so we finally got a chance to go in there and try it out a little bit.
It seems like your schedule for raiding has been a bit inconsistent lately, and I'm not going like, well, you guys need to figure that out. Obviously, like you've already mentioned, people got shit going on, but it seems like it's been happening a lot more lately. Because I was used to like you raiding twice on a weekend, and now I'm like, oh, you're not raiding.
Yeah, so we got one guy who got a new job, and he wasn't sure what his schedule was going to be like, and now that has settled, and he knows what his schedule is like. And then we have another guy who was rushing home on Saturdays to play, and it just has become too inconvenient for him to do so. And then another member, I'm trying to stay as vague as possible because I'm not trying to give people's information too much here.
Just say their full name and address and phone numbers.
Their girlfriend surprises them to pick them up to go on dates, which is great. But it sucks for people when we're planning things. So, but the priority is life comes first. So that's our rule. So
Dude's getting spoiled, dude.
Yeah. Other than that, I played some Minecraft. Got the itch for that again. Played with a
Not
couple
Ark, though.
friends. Noticed some stuff was missing, and I think someone accidentally logged on the server, so I had to fix some stuff real quick and banned that person's account. So
That's fucking scary.
yeah, they might have just put a number in wrong or something. I didn't find any buildings anywhere. They just where my spawn is. I have like this like starter hut, so that someone has you have a bed to sleep at while you're trying to get your shit together before you wander off. And there was a couple chests there, one with food, one with materials, and both the chests were just gone. And then I have a fence there that had some like animals in case you needed, food. And one fence post was missing, so the animals had wandered out. It was really bizarre.
I hate that.
And at first I was like, oh, weird, because we just invited someone to the server recently, and they didn't play Minecraft before, so they were just learning. It's like, well, maybe they just kind of mess with some of this stuff. Well, and then I logged into the server information and saw a name I didn't recognize on the list. I was like, I don't know who that is. If it's someone I know, they can hit me up and ask me why they're banned, but
Yeah.
I don't know who you are.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck around with
Get off my server. So, unfortunately, Minecraft does not have inherent password protection, and I don't really want to mod the server. So, my other alternative would be to make a whitelist and just constantly add people's names as they wanted to play, and I really just don't want to do that. So,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
If it became a problem, I could see doing that. But
Yeah.
if it was just like a misunderstanding, I just don't know why the fuck that guy would just show up in your server and start fucking with things. Like, that bothers the shit out of me.
It was really weird, and I'm assuming I don't know if that's the case. It very well could have been someone, or it could have been a server thing. I don't know, but it looked like there was a door that was left open and stuff. It looked like someone had been there and then didn't really know what they were doing and left. So it wasn't a huge deal. It was an easy fix. Fortunately, I have a lot of material saved up, but
People kind of, when they play games like Minecraft or their survival builder type games too, they just like hop in a server and just go to town.
yeah.
And so like I could imagine a guy like typing in a password, and I don't know how they would get so close to whatever password you're using, but and just
Well,
like
they would need the IP. That's why I'm confused.
yeah, that's weird. Yeah. And like just getting in and running around and start like going to town, not really thinking about like, wait, am I in the right place or not? They're just probably stoked they connected to a server at all. But yeah, then it's like, how did they get in there? How'd they get that direct IP? Which makes it seem a little more nefarious. But if all they did was open a door and let your animals out and not kill them all, and then not like destroy your shit, it seems
The damage was super minimal.
yeah, it seems fairly innocent. But I'm a very distrusting person and question motives. So just knowing anybody was in the server that wasn't supposed to be and they were fucking with shit, I would instantly be like, well, time to change all the fucking info.
Yeah, I went back to my base and immediately checked to see if anything was missing, and nothing was touched. So it would have been really easy for them to find it because we have infrastructure built everywhere at this point. So you just walk down a road, you'll end up at someone's base. So
What if it's some fucking like elite hacker guy who just goes into people's servers and just leaves like his trademark, fucking takes one fence out of the fence line and leaves the door open?
it's quite tinfoil hatty, but it was enough to make me a little paranoid if that's the case.
If I had the ability to just get into people's Minecraft servers, I would just do slight things like that.
Yeah. The other thing I did is I mostly finished the new spawn point, and I went to set it as the new world spawn. And apparently Minecraft's rules is if there's a roof, you'll spawn on the roof. And so this building I made, you don't spawn inside of.
That's stupid.
So there's ways around it, but I was not interested in learning at the time. So I'll have to play around with that later. Yeah. Let's see. Did I play anything else? I was going to say Elden Ring, but I don't think I did. So that's it. So I played.
Already bored of it.
Not bored of it. Just
Been playing it for a while. Dude.
if I don't know how much time I have to play a game, I won't hop into Elden Ring. So
Yeah, that's how I was. I was like, I gotta dedicate hours to this. I can't just like hop in and do like one thing. I'll do one boss fight.
Yeah, versus like
Then I'll hop
14,
out.
I can keep myself, busy solo and then just log out when I need to. So
Yeah. So nothing else?
that's it.
All right, so pretty much everything on my list is stuff I can't really talk about, but I'm going to say a couple things about them. But before I do that, I just want to remind you guys that Oxygen Not Included is our game of the month, randomly picked. So make sure to play that, or if you played in the past, come back at the end of the month. And then the plus games, I'm sure you guys know already, but they are FIFA 22. Do you see that FIFA and EA are no longer partners, and it will be called EA Sports FC from now on?
I did not see that.
So FIFA is over, baby. So enjoy FIFA 22. That's one of the games on PlayStation Plus, though. And then Tribes of Midgard and Curse of the Dead Gods. So make sure to play those. Come back at the end of the month for Plus Club. We will be discussing those games, and we, of course, want to know your opinions on them. That being said, rest in peace, FIFA. I played quite a bit of Curse of the Dead Gods already. I can't talk about my opinions on that, but I just want to let you guys know in case you're going like, yeah, I don't really know what that's about. It's essentially Slay the Spire, but a top-down action game. So like Slay the Spire, you pick a path, and it's always random, and there's different modifiers and things that happen, and you go down this path, you got to fight a boss, and then there's a chest here, and then here you get to pick a way. That's how this game's set up, but then the play aspect of it is not a card game. It's a top-down action game. So if that sounds interesting, you should play it and then talk to us at the end of the month about it. But yeah, I've probably put about 5 or 6 hours into it already. So yeah, we'll discuss that when we do. And then I've also put about 5 or 6 hours into Tribes of Midgard. And in case you're curious about what that is an up to 10 player cooperative survival builder game on a temporary system, because it's designed where you get to an endpoint and win, or you fail and you start over again. So it's almost like a roguelike in that sense. But yeah, every match you're leveling up again and picking a class and leveling that class up every time you play a match. You have to like kill five or six giants, and then you win or you fail. So yeah, it's something we'll talk about at the end of the month. But I've been playing that, and in case you're curious, I've unlocked like I think 3 or 4 of the classes already, and I got to the 15th day, but I did not complete the 15th day, so I did not unlock the 15th day class that you get when you complete the 15th day. I haven't done that yet, because the people I was playing with, the random people, a lot of them quit by then, and we just couldn't get it done. So I'm hoping to do that so I can talk about that class at the end of the month. The only game I can talk about, so this is going to be really brief, and I barely fucking played this game, but I was curious about it, so I downloaded it. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which is their Battle Royale. I didn't have a whole lot of like high hopes for this game, because Vampire the Masquerade doesn't really mean anything to me anymore. The original game was cool at the time. I still have some, I still like it, but it's such a old IP at this point that they're making all these games for now all of a sudden. And then also it's a battle royale. So, and I'm actually at this point pretty burnt out on battle royales. I kind of like tried to go like, well, they can still make a good one. At this point, I'm just kind of done doing these quick matches, and I didn't get first place. Gonna do it again. So you may be wondering what Blood Hunt is bringing to the table. This is the only reason I really even played it, outside of maybe I would have really enjoyed it. The thing that's differentiating this game from other battle royales, it's also free to play, so you can check it out, is first off, it plays vampires, and there's different archetypes of vampires you pick before you get into a match that have different abilities. The one I played could go invisible by pressing a button, or if I sat or crouched, I would go like half invisible, so it made me a little less visible to people. Didn't seem to work all too well. But there's other people who have like jump abilities that can like fly up over buildings, stuff like that, even though every character can run up walls. So that's interesting. And yeah, it's set in a city. You run around, you find weapons, you shoot at each other, you kill each other, and you try to be the last vampire alive. It is set up. One thing I do appreciate about it is it does try to create a scenario within the lore of Vampire the Masquerade that makes the battle royale make sense. There's like it's a blood hunt. There's like a civil war, some shit happening between like vampire factions, and then there's like some like other party of people like that's hunting them down, and so that's kind of why all these vampires are shooting each other in the city. So I appreciate that they're trying to give a battle royale story. I know Fortnite has a story, I guess, as well. I don't know anything about it. But yeah, you have all these different, magical abilities. One thing that's interesting about it is there are human NPCs on the map that you can track down, and you can suck their blood, and you're able to regain certain properties back if you're hurt, or I think there's another thing you get back from it. I don't remember. So there's this element of looking for things on the map that's not just weapons or other people. And then it has a system where if you go down, if you can stay like out of the way and not get hit, you can get yourself back up, which allows you to go find an NPC, drink their blood, get your shit back together. I got back up like 4 times. I think it was like a lot in one match because somebody would shoot me. I would just crawl behind something and then get back up and turn invisible and run off. So that was kind of interesting. But it was kind of a clusterfuck. There was like dudes everywhere. Like every rooftop I get on, someone's shooting at me. I'm shooting back at them. I turn a corner, somebody's in my face. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I don't know how big this map is, but it doesn't seem that big if I'm running into people this often. But it's littered with weapons. It's not hard to find things like that. So as a battle royale, it's almost too abundant, but I would hate the opposite. So I'm not going to complain. At least everybody's getting equipped quick enough. The abilities does make it interesting, but it does kind of make it feel like Hyperscape a bit, but in a sad way, more interesting because Hyperscape was so generic. And yeah, it's a third-person shooter. So that's kind of cool, but not really too awesome. The controls didn't feel like that tight, but they weren't bad either. And the game looks pretty decent, but it's not the best looking thing ever. So this does just kind of feel like, we got this property. Battle Royales are popular. Let's see if we can get this to kick off. If I'm being honest, though, I don't think it will have legs. As all the popular battle royales that exist right now are here and here to stay. And if you're going to break into that, you got to either bring something super original, which I don't think is strong enough anymore, or a brand that is strong enough to get people to come to it no matter what. I mean, Battlefield couldn't do it. Their battle royale was a battle royale. It was serviceable, but it wasn't strong enough. And there are battle royales out there, Scavengers. Games like Scavengers that are actually really fucking cool, but people are playing Warzone, Apex, and Fortnite.
I would say it's really bad timing too, because Fortnite just released the no builder or building mode, and then Apex released a new character recently too. So
yeah, and Warzone's getting ready for Warzone 2, so it's not a good time to release a battle royale, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It already seems like people are pretty like stuck where they're going to be playing their battle royales at this point, and they're all in it to win it. They all are investing because they got everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty wild because like I imagine there's still a ton of people playing Fortnite.
Oh, dude, a bunch
and
of dude.
A new wave of people have come back to it at this point because of that update.
Yeah,
and then Apex is one of the top 5 games on Steam every day. So.
Yeah. And I think Apex is the most creative of all of them, but I'm biased. I love Respawn and their ideas, and Apex is no different. I actually should hop back into it because I know they released other modes outside of Battle Royale. I'd be curious to play.
Is that 3v3 mode, I think, or something like that?
Yeah, so. I'd be curious to try that out. I am curious about Fortnite's no-build mode. I actually downloaded it on PC. I haven't played it.
Heard it's fun.
Yeah, me too. So I'm just like... because I like Epic. I liked Fortnite before it turned into what it is now.
I'm sure it plays buttery smooth.
It did play buttery smooth back in the day. So when I played it, so I'm curious about it. But I'll play it. I'll talk about it, I'm sure. whenever I do get around. I downloaded those on my computer now, so definitely curious to try that out. I think it has crossplay too. I think all the battle royales have crossplay now.
I think so.
Yeah, which is good. They should. And while we're on the topic, I think it's really interesting that we're getting a Warzone 2. They're just making one from the ground up again. Which hopefully they follow close to Warzone, because they tried doing a battle royale with Call of Duty before Warzone. I forgot what it was called. Blackout? And it was shit. I fucking hated it.
Is Warzone not updatable? I'm confused on why they would make that decision.
I think I read that the game is just getting too big, so they want to start over. Because I don't think they thought it was going to be as big as it got.
Interesting.
But I remember after playing Warzone, I was like, this is a good battle royale. Like, they did a good job. Now, of course, I stopped playing before all the crazy hacks started happening and all the crazy glitches and people getting pissed about this and that. But it was solid. But yeah, they said that the game just is so fucking huge now. They don't want to keep adding to it. Which I kind of appreciate, because people have been complaining about the size of that for a while. And I think they want to start fresh, because with Modern Warfare 2 coming out, I think they're the ones who made the original Warzone when Modern Warfare 2019 came out. They're probably, got a whole bunch of new plans for this. So
interesting.
And they're probably planning for the long term, the long run, so that they don't run into a situation where they don't have to think about, like, well, we'll just keep making the game bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's been a big issue for them. So it's like 100 something. It keeps going up gigs. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. So all in all, Blood Hunt is it's fine. I would lightly recommend it if you just want to try a vampire battle royale. But I don't think it has a strong enough presence to take people from their preferred battle royales or change people's minds on battle royales if they're not into them. So I think there will be a niche group of people playing it, but I don't think it'll be enough to sustain the game. I'd be happy to be wrong, but I just don't see it. When I played it, it didn't do anything for me like when I first played Apex or Warzone or any of these big battle royales. And again, Scavengers, if you haven't played that, it's the biggest problem with that game is it's not on console, or at least it wasn't when I was playing it. It's a solid battle royale, but it's only on PC. It's not smart for battle royales at this point. So, yeah. Anything else? All right, well, I'll keep you guys updated on my journey into possibly dipping my toes into Fortnite. That'll be really interesting. There's a video from, I think, like 2017 or something like that, that I watched a while back from our channel. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I just played Fortnite. It's really fun, blah, 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 blah. And I'm listening to him like, that's so weird to hear me saying that. Because it was before before there was two versions of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's so weird to hear like those words come out of my mouth, because in the current situation, I can't imagine me saying that. So maybe I'll say that again in 2022. That'd be wild. Yeah, so let us know in the comments, what games have you guys been playing? What games do you plan on playing? Is there any games you'd recommend us play? That you're like, dude, you got to check this game out, or you haven't been playing this game, you should play that. One game I keep thinking about a lot lately, because the expansion's coming out, is Monster Hunter. I've barely played the newest one, and I would like to play it before all the new shit comes out. But
yeah, you should.
Yeah, time. Even though lately I've been dedicating more and more time to like 1 to 2 games, which anybody who knows me before this year, it's like 12 games a week. But since like February, since Elden Ring, I've just been like sticking to like 1 to 2 games at a time.
If I could just get you to play 14.
Yeah, that's a big investment.
You say that.
It's a big investment. As I'm playing fucking Godfall.
In the time you played Elden Ring, you probably could have beat 2 expansions.
True. I beat the fuck out of Elden Ring, and I'm almost level 300 in Godfall. I could put that into an MMO for sure. But that game's just so easy to just turn my brain off and fucking play. Yeah, so maybe 14 will get pulled. We put it back on the game of the month list, so maybe it'll get pulled soon. I don't know.
Or in the next 2 years.
That is true. There's plenty of games on that list. All right, so let us know what you think about in the comments below when it comes to what you've been playing, what we've been playing. All right, so as you guys probably know, there has been a video circulating around. Some people don't know if it's real or if it's CGI. It was on Twitter and it is on YouTube. We're going to watch it. We've both seen it. I've only seen it on my phone.
I've seen it on my phone on Twitter, so...
Yeah, so we're going to watch it on YouTube. It's actually the YouTube of the dude who did it.
Nice.
He's got some info down below about what he did, so I'd like to read that. It's just been really interesting because, as you guys know, Unreal Engine 5 is now out in full force. Everyone has access to it. A lot of people have had access to it, but like everybody has access to it now. Me and you are, tech nerds. We like we get into like talking about engines and all that kind of stuff. And I think Unreal Engine 5 is a game changer in the sense that it is putting the power of AAA development into anyone's hands. And we're already seeing early on, with it just releasing, some really impressive stuff. Yeah. And so the video we're going to watch is made by a single person, I believe. From what I read, it took them a month to do this. And like I said, it came out and people, even though I saw it and I could tell it was CGI, there are a lot of people who didn't know if it was real or not. And it is very impressive looking.
It is very impressive.
It's very impressive looking. And all it tells me is, games could possibly look like this in 4 to 5 years, I would estimate.
Between this, the Matrix teaser they did, and then some other like garage projects I've seen floating around the internet, I think it's safe to say the next gen's finally here. Like,
yeah, and something we'll be watching this episode actually had the balls to do what I think a lot of people need to start doing, and said that they are canceling their last gen version of the game because they want to dedicate all the resources to next gen at this point. So you're going to see that more and more and more. But yeah, the next gen everybody's been hoping for. It's been a slow crawl towards it. I would argue there are some games out there right now that are absolutely next gen, but we're going to see more and more of them. It always takes like a year or two to get over that slump of like the 2 gens that they have to make stuff for.
Yeah, well, and we're also in a very strange time too, because like with the multi layers of issues plaguing the electronics industry in general right now.
It's definitely exacerbating.
Software developers have had to take that into consideration when they make products. So
yeah. Do you see PS5 has sold 19 point something million, and they project really good sales, but like. One of the reasons it's not sold as much as they assumed it would is because of the semiconductor.
That might not
shortage.
end until 2024 at this point.
Yeah, it's a long. There's I still know people who don't have a PS5 who want one. So it's shitty.
I do
but
also.
More and more people are getting their hands on them. I'm seeing it more and more.
And actually, I'm just gonna put this out there too because I know people who want them, but. Won't sign up for the PlayStation Direct thing. Do that.
Well, even outside of that, early on, like people wouldn't put the time into, refreshing their page and trying to wait it out and throw things in the cart. I know that's really annoying and difficult, but I did that to get my PS5 on launch.
If you guys would have saw what I went through to get my 3080, like I know that I was putting in probably like 50% of the effort that I could have put into getting one, and I was able to get one. And I know there are people who aren't putting that in, and I know you just want to walk into a store and you just want to buy the product.
I mean, it'd be great if everybody could do that.
But if you want it, you have to. I mean, it's like looking for. In fact, I'd say finding a job right now is easier.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, not to like lecture anybody on how to get a console, but there are some people, and now it's the easiest time to get one, which is great. I'm glad to see that. But
yeah.
I did see early on people going like, I can't get one. And like, what'd you do? Well, I called Walmart. Wow.
You didn't try.
You got to work a little harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody else, I had to keep telling people, I'm like, everybody else wants one too. It's
not
just you.
I was putting in 12 hours a day for 10 days straight to get a video card. So.
Yeah, luckily my intuition with the PS5 helped me because the pre-orders went up a day early, and I felt like that was going to happen, and it did. I'm like, fuck.
Wow.
Still took me like 6 hours.
Yeah, and then chip shortages exacerbated everything.
Yeah. So anyway, more and more people are getting them,
Yes.
and we are finally getting into a time. I'm trying to collect myself on where we're even going in this conversation. Next gen is coming. The next gen people expect, and I think the video we're going to watch shows off that if an individual in 1 month can do this, and he does say this is pre-rendered. I assumed it was.
Yeah.
Imagine what like a full dev team can do with Unreal Engine 5 and other engines that are coming out. Unity's got a very impressive tech demo they released like a month or two ago as well. So plenty of people are trying to making games easier and easier with higher fidelity, better graphics, and it's exciting because, as we've talked about a million times, with the big three dying and AAA struggling, it's going to seem as though, in my opinion, the people who are passionate are going to have the tools to make the great games that we want easier than ever. And so I think it's going to get really exciting in the near future when it comes to games. So let's watch this, and then we can discuss it. This is called Echu Daimon Station, and this is Unreal Engine 5. It's not real, but you may think it is. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Definitely formatted for Twitter and TikTok. The big thing, if these were like stills, it'd be very hard to fucking tell this is real or not. But the head motion is the big thing that tells me it's fake. Outside of if you look up close, everything's sterile and super clean. But like the movement of the head just seems like a VR headset or something.
Yeah.
Or some kind of like camera control. Doesn't seem natural. The lighting and the shadows, though, are fucking incredible looking. The reflections of the light on the walls,
the wood,
amazing looking. Yeah. The light coming through the windows, you can see an illumination on the glass. This is what I'm fucking telling people. I keep getting into more and more arguments about ray tracing lately by people who with people who don't know what ray tracing is. I'm like, dude, you can't achieve this shit without it. Yeah, the lighting is so good.
Yeah, the people who decide to make horror games are they have the tools to scare the shit, and they already had it, but they just got extra tools to scare shit out of people with the way lighting is now.
And again, as I read, this is pre-rendered, so it's just a thing that's running. But it is all in-engine 3D models. And under the right devs, we're going to get games that are going to look incredible. This is super impressive, though. Like, one dude did this.
Well, yeah, and if someone wanted to, they could make like, little short films and stuff like that too.
That's the big thing I keep thinking about too. Even Unreal advertised that for like green screens, making like ultra realistic looking graphics that could be your backgrounds for movies.
Yeah, and
since every movie's just a fucking green screen nowadays, anyway.
Even in the realm of something like VR chat and stuff like that too. I don't know if you can upload something like this to VR chat, but you can make VR environments, that are insane looking.
Mm-hmm.
So,
for sure, foliage from Quixel Mega Scans. That's interesting. Yeah. So this says Lorenzo Drago did the models, textures, animation, and video editing, running in Unreal Engine 5 using Lumen, no nanite. So yeah, super impressive looking. He's got a FAQ here that says, "Is it real? No, it's."
Is it real time?
Is it real time? Can you read that?
Yeah. So FAQ: Is it real time? No, it's a high res render around 7 frames per second. I can run it in real time, 30 to 50 frames at 1440p for daytime, but the image quality is worse. It's not particularly optimized anyways. You can get better performance with a little more work. System specs: RTX 2080 and a Ryzen 7 3700X. Breakdown: I'm working on it, but it'll probably be a post on my ArtStation. I don't know what that is. How long did it take? About a month. How did you record the camera? I used a VR controller for motion tracking. Check out this channel for tutorials. Link is posted. And then hiragana, kanji, hiragana, kanji, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So
you can't read that. So yeah, very impressive. We kind of talked as we watched it, but I guess for anybody listening, I would encourage you to go check this out. This is something you really got to see visually. Us describing things is not going to really do much, but it is a ultra realistic in its ambition looking representation of a train station during the day. Not a cloud in the sky, great lighting, surfaces full of textures. Everything looks really good graphically, like near photorealistic. The only thing, like I said before, that really kind of gives it away is the head motion. And if you really look at some of the surfaces, you don't really see any lived-in qualities of, like, dirt buildup and imperfections and scratches and stuff like that. But the textures are amazing. And then it goes to a night mode, which is really interesting because even in the Matrix demo, you're able to turn day and night on instantly. And they have that on purpose as a showcase of how quick their lighting engine can just do its thing.
Yeah.
And this is doing the exact same thing. And it's really good looking. With that lighting being communicated like that, you actually get this haze in the air from the light in the air that's really nice, really soft, transitions really well with the environments. And then this flashlight, the lighting and shadows on it are really good. You can actually see the shadows traveling where they should be based off of the position of the light. It's really impressive. Graphics, and if any game came out right now, a first-person game looking like this came out right now, you'd be hearing all about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'd be a fun game, not just like Order 1886 looks great, plays like a PlayStation 2 game situation. But bro, if you made a fucking new Fear game that had these graphics, I would freak out.
I think it's also worth noting too that I saw this because Jeff Keighley retweeted it.
Yeah.
So the industry saw it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a bunch of people saw it. And unless this guy's already in the industry, I'd be curious if he's gotten any calls by anybody who'd be curious to see if he
wants a job,
is looking to design for somebody.
Yeah.
Because obviously he can do a lot by himself. If he's on a team, he might have quite a bit to offer. So.
For sure.
But this, again, like I said before, just shows that the tools are there now. Like if you want to get into game development, if you want to get into map design, any kind of model design, it seems easier than ever. And you are playing with graphics that were only developed by big AAA companies before, that would make their own proprietary engines or have connections with Unreal, and they'd be able to make these things with these huge teams. And now just one dude in 1 month creates something that's this good looking. You can imagine what could be done with more people, more time, and maybe something playable, which if you played the Matrix demo, there are some parts in that are very good looking. So yeah, it's got me really excited for Unreal Engine 5. I've been excited for it, but then we keep getting shit like this just kind of dropping out. I'm like, oh, okay, so like people are making really cool shit with this engine already. Like it's just the beginning. Like
yeah, there's some water right there too on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crazy. It's interesting. It looks like the ground's wet. I mean, it is, but even the rocks or gravel out there seemed like it was wet. So
yeah, it definitely looks like it's wet in like the same way like it rained like 30 minutes ago. Wet would look like.
Yeah, and the air's kind of misty looking too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's cool.
Environments with this kind of lighting and reflections and shadows and everything is just going to be so atmospheric if done correctly. So really, really excited to see what people do with Unreal Engine 5. In the hopefully near future, I feel like we're going to be getting, games that fully utilize Unreal Engine 5. We'll probably be getting in like 2 years, but I don't know. I'm not in the industry. I'm not a fucking expert. I'm not a scientist. So, yeah. But overall, I just kind of wanted to share this video with you guys. And if you guys have already seen it, discuss it with you guys. So let us know in the comments what you guys think of this essentially tech example, this tech demo this guy made. Is it impressive? Is it not impressive? Is there anything in it that you noticed that we didn't really talk about? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? What would you like to see made with Unreal Engine 5? Like I said, I just would love like a fear game, like the darkness, the dark part of this just kind of reminded me of like a realistic shooter would be so fucking cool to play. Ooh, Hunt Showdown 2 looking like this would be fucking amazing. And yeah, just discuss in the comments below what you think when it comes to this and Unreal Engine 5. All right, as you guys already know, I am sure, because you guys are on it, Gotham Knights, Nightwing, and Red Hood gameplay demo came out today. We were actually going to shoot Taste Cast yesterday, but there was a lack of a whole lot of interesting things going on. And then I heard this was coming out. I was like, we should wait one day so we can cover that. So that's what we're doing. In this, apparently they go through gameplay. They discuss gameplay, and we will get a taste of what Gotham Knights is like. There was a rumor, I think like a day ago, that somebody had said that this game was going to be 4 players instead of 2 players. That was actually incorrect. It is going to be 2-player, which is still pretty cool in my opinion. So yeah, I got that info, and I also heard that they are canceling last-gen versions of this game, which I think is quite the move and something that possibly Cyberpunk should have done, and other people if they're struggling to try and make things on 2 different generations. Also, I keep hearing more and more and more people do not like developing games with the Series S in mind because it's a weird mid-ground that they don't want to make games for. So hopefully Xbox will just utilize it as a stream machine because, yeah, it makes sense to me. I mean, we're already at a point where people are talking about pro versions of the consoles because they're behind when it comes to what PCs can do by quite a bit now. So yeah, people don't like developing for the S, and it seems as though they don't want to develop for last gen if they're making games like this. So
yeah, the tech's moving forward regardless of scarcity. So
yeah,
and it's just a tricky place for them to be in. But I mean, also think of it from the perspective of the people creating things. They likely got into it to create, do the new cool things, and they can't. The only people who are really like, oh, we got to make sure that this gets out to as many people as possible. I mean, that's publishers. They're starting to make money. So
sure, and it makes sense if you can get it, if you can make it work on everything. Why wouldn't you? But
sure.
People always bring up Forbidden West as an example of like, well, they didn't have an issue. I'm like, well, 2 things, 3 things. That's a very, and not to say other devs aren't highly talented, but it's a highly talented dev working only for PlayStation, working on PlayStation infrastructure with people like Mike Cerny who developed the console itself. So there's a lot more specifics they can work on with that outside of a game that's going to come out on everything. They got to make it run on Xbox Series, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, like that, PC. Some games come out on Switch still when they're on everything else, and it's like
their support network is also going to be huge because they got all the other Sony studios they can just call up.
Exactly. So there's like a in-house, in-family aspect to the development of a PlayStation-only game that does give them an edge to do that. I'm not saying like everyone couldn't do that, but I think it is easier for them to achieve that than somebody who's trying to develop for everything.
For sure.
So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. And as we've moved this far into current gen at this point, I think you're going to see more and more people starting to get away from doing both unless it's like a sports game or something that can easily be on everything.
Or they're not making brand new AAA game. They're just making something that is like more like artsy.
Sure.
So
Yeah, if it could just run on it, why wouldn't you do it? But the games that are going to push the boundaries, you're going to see less of those coming to last gen at this point. As much as it alienates certain people, I embrace it because people want the next gen games. They want the full on games that are only being made for next gen with next gen in mind, and they don't have to worry about trying to make it for both things. So anyway, this is one of those games apparently, and we're going to watch it. We're going to figure out if it's deserving of that, but also I'm just kind of curious about it. I mean, this isn't Rocksteady making this, so my expectations aren't like super fucking high. But the idea of a cooperative, Arkham Batman-esque type game sounds awesome to me. Sounds like it'd be at least a fun game to play with somebody else. And so I do have a curiosity about it. We haven't seen a whole lot on it, so I am stoked to see 13 minutes of it. And yeah, hopefully it's looking dope. Shelby, do you have any anticipation for this game?
I honestly don't even know what it is. I'm sure we've seen it before, but
We're going to find out.
yeah. The only one I even remember is I think it's the Suicide Squad one or whatever
Yeah,
they're
that's
making.
the Rocksteady game.
Yeah, I knew that one, but when you mentioned this one, I was like,
Yeah. This is actually being made by, what is it? Is it WB Montreal? I don't remember, but they're the people who made Batman Origins, which is the one that people were not as stoked about because it's living in the shadow of the incredible Arkham trilogy that is just still super impressive. So I always feel bad for that game because it was like, I didn't think it was horrible, but people fucking hated that game because it just wasn't as good as the Arkham games. But I'm like, what games are, man? Like, those are really well made games. And definitely the best Batman games. So anyway, enough of all that. Let's get you caught up on what this game is, and let's get me caught up on what they're bringing to the table. This is Gotham Knights, Nightwing, and Red Hood gameplay demo in 3, 2, 1, and go. I don't know how low this is going to be. Guess we'll find out.
Hi, I'm Jeff Eleanor, game director at Warner Brothers Games Montreal, and today I'm really excited to share with you gameplay footage featuring Nightwing and Red Hood from our upcoming game, Gotham Knights.
Sick. A fully next-gen game. Allegedly.
Hurry it up, will ya?
We're joining Nightwing, also known as Dick Grayson, midway through the game story as he patrols our city. All of the Knights can unlock heroic ways of getting around the city. For Nightwing, it's his glider, the Flying Trapeze.
Damn.
The Regulators gang are engaged in a hacking crime, so it's time to bring some vigilante justice to the bad people. Each crime in Gotham Knights plays like a mini game mode with rules and optional objectives. Nightwing's fighting style is acrobatic and ping-pongs around the battlefield.
it's super floaty.
Yeah. The animations are cool, but the way he's traversing the ground looks fucking
Gotham
crazy.
in co-op with a friend. Here's Red Hood. Red Hood gained new abilities after being resurrected by an assassin cult. Here, he uses mystical leap to
quite the
move
story.
across the rooftops, springboarded by his own soul energy. Successful attacks and dodges build up my momentum bar below, and timing my strikes and combos correctly makes it build
They play
faster.
different.
Once the bar is
I mean, you'd
full,
expect
heroes
that,
can
but-
unleash powerful abilities. Red Hood's ranged attacks are a little louder. He fires non-lethal rounds that still do a lot of damage. Here's Red Hood's barrage ability, which deals piercing damage to interrupt armored attacks. The UI you're seeing can be customized to your preferences. What's on screen is what I like, but you can set it the way you like.
What does that mean, though? Like, what are the options?
I wonder if they're just toggles. Like you want it on or off the screen type of deal.
Yeah, I just wish there's info on that. Sure. Like, it sounds good, but I don't know what it means.
I mean, I'd probably play with most of it on, but I like having the information.
Holy perfect attack, Nightwing!
Crime resolved. Fucking kill them all.
Also, that was a mugging. That wasn't crime solving at all.
Two things. The movement is weird looking.
Very.
Now that we've prevented
I
the
also don't like how
regulators from
bullets
stealing
punch
data, let's follow Red Hood for a bit. The Bat Cycle is usable by all heroes in Gotham Knights. Let's watch Red Hood chase down a smuggling van in Southside neighborhood.
It's interesting. It's really cool. That guy's dead.
Great. More shitheads to beat up.
He's still a little floaty, but he's way better than.
Yeah, no, fucking.
The other dude.
Yeah, Nightwing was like way worse. He's like doing things here, and he's just like
Red
flying
Hood can
across the
unlock the
fucking
ability
map.
to attach a bomb to thrown opponents, so he can detonate it with a
I'm
shot
giving benefit
later.
of the doubt because it said work in progress still.
Yeah.
But
It's a pretty good
yeah,
time.
the
Well,
animation on the other guy
if
was
the
awful.
gameplay's fun, I'll overlook it. But visually, like, it's just like off-putting.
Very jarring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, I play like EDF, and that's a janky game.
Yeah,
So
for sure. I still like the idea of this being a co-op game, though. It's pretty cool.
Now we're back at the Belfry, the hero's home
Why does he
base.
stand like
This
that?
next
Dude, put
sequence
your
is
arms
from
down.
early in the game, as we're just discovering the Court of Owls.
non-monkey.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? If he put his arms all the way down, his fingers would reach past his knees.
The Bat Computer runs the map of the city and lets us pursue challenges
Got
and
them
advance the story.
orangutan fucking arms.
Nightwing is tracking his next story mission, investigating the Old Powers Club. The workbench is where we go to upgrade our equipment, making sure that we're ready for each new challenge through the game. Players find blueprints and crafting materials by taking on missions and fighting crime. Each blueprint has different stats, giving the player a wide range of
this
cool
part's
choices
cool.
for
I
their
like this
individual
kind of stuff.
strategy and style.
Seems like the Division.
Kinda.
Gear with mod slots is better because mod chips power up gameplay properties.
He's so stiff.
I don't know why Nightwing is being.
He's
abused
Frankenstein's
in this.
monster.
He walks weird. He moves weird in combat. His moves
At this
look
point in the
cool,
story,
but-
our characters are still processing the loss of Batman.
Now his arms are fine. When it's not in game.
You could visit him.
I could what?
He went to yours when... You could visit his grave.
You haven't.
I'm not the one staring at the... You know.
Sometimes you're an idiot, Grayson.
Sick. What the fuck is that?
Players can unlock fast travel to get around the city in a hurry with the Fast Bat.
That's a taxi.
Belfry, got anything court-related?
Court of Owls. A secret society as old as Gotham itself. Run the city behind closed doors. According to the old poem, anyway.
Okay, but how does that line up with what Penguin said?
If this all-powerful court really is out
I'd be
there,
so fucking annoyed if I looked up while walking down the street and there was just a guy hanging from that thing.
getting away with murder for centuries.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Besides the
Fingers
fact
crossed we'll learn
that
more at the
they have that
power
carnival attraction where you try to hold yourself up for 2 minutes, and most people can't.
It's time for Nightwing to sneak
Nightwing
And
into
he's
Court's
just
territory.
flying like that.
Stealth is always an advantage.
I'm in.
Is it good stealth though?
Be careful. Let us know if you find anything.
They have a few guards. Long lunch too, huh?
I'm not complaining. Nice to get a break once in a while.
So what do you think the poor bastard did?
What poor bastard? As far as I know, I just got a longer break.
Poor bastard. Wonder what that means.
That was weird.
Every hero has unique takedowns and finishing moves. Ambush strikes are faster than silent
That was the
takedowns,
best
but
looking
make
thing
more
he's done.
noise.
I can rummage your
Yeah.
teeth.
I don't know when he's fighting earlier. I thought the individual
Augmented
animations
reality
of
vision
the
helps the
swinging and
heroes
kicking
solve
were good,
puzzles
but
and
just the
investigate
movement on
mysteries.
the ground was fucking
AR
crazy.
shows
But
There's
even
a
the
lot.
the impact felt
Wonder what
goofy.
else.
And then when he jumped down and hit that
There's
first
something under
guy,
the floor.
wrapped his leg around or whatever, it didn't look like he was
It has to
touching
connect
him.
with some kind of
Yeah.
There was no
network.
impact feel. At least
There's
with
gotta be a
that,
way to
he
open
like
it.
He has like 2 individual character models.
Here we see Nightwing's
Kind of
elemental
neat. It's like
shockwave
there's
ability.
contact
It
happening.
interrupts
Yeah.
enemy armored attacks and deals
But
elemental
like those
status effects.
animations look pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't have any
Like
issues with the
initial-
animation.
Cryostatus
It's just it
freezes an
feels
enemy, taking them
like
out of
he's
the fight
not
for a while.
actually there.
Yeah. It's interesting too that it's like an action RPG now with like gear score and shit.
Yeah.
Because like the way they move and the way the combat works almost reminds me of like some kind of like free to play MMO.
Yeah, it's just weird.
And
Kind of
done.
turned off by it.
I guess nowadays I shouldn't be using that as a term free to play MMOs. They all are pretty much, but I mean like back in the day, a free to play MMO. We'd be like, that's not as good.
A hidden staircase. That can't be good.
The world looks cool though.
Yeah,
I think the environment's look good.
they don't really have like any like major complaints outside of like specifically that character.
Yeah, he's
Just feels like he doesn't like he's not actually there for some reason.
Shit, what's he doing here? I got something for you.
I like how there's not a person in this room who's not getting their ass kicked outside of Nightwing. And one of them was like, I got something for you.
You don't need to tell me.
For anybody wondering how this fight looks with Red Hood, check this out.
Yeah, let's say I'd like to know how the other gameplay works. And the big problem with him, like I think he looks overall like better in the way he moves and shit, but
How's about this?
he's sitting there shooting everybody and like they just don't seem powerful.
Red Hood takes on a Talon gladiator here, one
Yeah.
of the Court of Owls' engineered superhuman assassins.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I don't know if I like the UI element either.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, the hit indicator, you know, when you're swinging and stuff like that, is
How's about this?
drawing jarring as well. I can't really think of another, but I feel like they could have done that differently. And then, all these bright icons. It kind of reminds me of, it's like how they changed the visual style of certain things when they went from Doom to Doom Eternal.
Whoever this belongs to must be
How
in
like
bad
things
shape.
got really colorful and popping out. But this is giving me that same like vibe where like all the like the items and those hit markers and stuff like that were just like ultra vibrant.
That must be
Which is
whoever they
weird because the
kidnapped.
world's not.
Well, yeah, even though it's its own game, they've essentially taken the Arkham formula, but turned it into an action RPG looter shooter.
Yeah.
Come here. Wake up. Look at me. I made a mistake. It won't happen again. Please.
Standing there looks like a traffic.
Yeah, he was there for the fucking ride. He's like, I wonder what happens next. All right, we went over quite a bit already talking about it, but general impressions on what we saw.
It looks like it could be a fun game, but really at the end of the day, I didn't see anything there that made me want to buy it. And I think a lot of that is that there's a lot of elements there that are just so visually jarring for me that I feel like I'd just be staring at them the whole time I was playing the game, which would take me out of it. And I'm not really like talking necessarily like in regards of like, I want to be so immersed I don't realize I'm playing a game, because I like that honestly just doesn't happen. But I want it to be somewhat believable, and that kind of stuff. Maybe it's a weird example, but like Elden Ring, obviously, when that came out, and this is a very extreme example, but like one of the things that a handful of devs like were getting pissed off about with the success of the game was like the game didn't have all these like crazy UI features to make the user experience, more accessible. I think this is the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's too much.
Yeah, the first thing I thought when watching this was this game has zero interest in immersion.
Yeah.
And it is a pure gameplay game.
100%.
So if the gameplay's fun and the loot is good and there's maybe leveling or something, I don't know if they really touched on that or not. It will be a fun game to play. But in terms of like, an immersive experience that looks ultra realistic or, has like impressive movements or a UI that is clever, I don't think we're getting it. But they did kind of give themselves the safety net, and they do say right in the video, it's almost like they're insecure about it. They're like, this is how I have the UI, but we just let you fucking custom tailor it, which is cool. They're letting you do that. More and more games do stuff like that. But it does tell me that like they're like, I don't know, dude, just fucking throw every feature on the screen and then let them turn them off if they don't want them, because there's a lot of shit going on the screen, and the game just overall seems very systematic. It's like you do this happens every time, and I don't know. There's nothing about it that seems. It just seems very mechanical and stiff in a lot of ways. So yeah, like I said, I think it's completely devoid of any kind of like immersive gameplay, but it does seem like it could be fun. Yeah, and I'm not trying to sit here and like shit on the game or whatever. Yeah. It could be a fun game, and I don't think it looks like bad. It just, for my personal taste, I find the whole thing kind of jarring. I'm also not a big superhero person either, and so like I don't have like that attachment to it either. So I look at this just as like this purely as a game, thing. And so I guess to talk about some of the things I guess I did like about it though, like when I showed all the different like variations of costumes and stuff like that, I thought they looked great. I also like the idea of like slotting in things to kind of mess with the way your character plays and stuff like that. I think that's super cool. I like the kind of stuff in games. If done well, but yeah, for sure. Yeah. If it's lazy, then it's gonna feel like the wrong direction.
For sure. And, that it is a co-op experience. And I think it's supposed to have multiple characters outside of these two as well.
Yeah, they kept saying the knights.
Yeah, which is cool. I'm not like wowed by it, but I'm not gonna like just immediately dismiss it. But it is currently kind of like a super low priority for me at the moment, I think. So, like that right there. Why does that look like that?
I don't know. Yeah, in some ways it just feels kind of I don't want to say lazy, but it feels undercooked, I guess. But in a way that seems like this is what it's going to be like. Like they have no intention of cleaning it up at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a similar sense, the co-op is definitely attractive to me. I love co-op in games in a big open world where you're getting gear and slotting stuff in to change up your build essentially, and going about doing missions where you can just run in and attack or hopefully do stealth in a lot of situations. I hope that's how it works. Sounds like a lot of fun. The gameplay, even though the way things move and how systematic it looks like it's still going to be fun. You're going to have to look out for certain things and know your attacks and stuff like that. I am a little worried in that I've seen multiple enemies now that seem like they're like bullet sponges, or there's big fucking tanky dudes who you got to beat the fuck out of for like 5 minutes, and then they go down and get right back up afterwards, which is not a fun gameplay mechanic. If it was a true surprise, it'd be one thing, and a one-time off kind of situation, like, oh fuck, you got back up. Like Elden Ring, where you fight a guy, all of a sudden he like heals again. You're like, oh shit, I gotta. It's not every boss that does that, but I'm not saying it's gonna be the case here either. But it does seem like it's gonna be likely the case often, because a lot of the enemies in this seem just like they have a fucking huge pool of health, which is something I'm not a big fan of, and does make this seem more like it's a action RPG and not like a stealth action game. So, but that might be fine. I fucking hate the way he walks in this place. He looks ridiculous.
He's got my posture.
Yeah, except for
Except I keep my arms on my sides.
Huge monkey arms.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to see where I'm at and how it reviews when it comes out. If I got a higher priority game, I probably will wait to play this unless somebody else I know is playing it and like, dude, it's really good, you should play it or play it with me. Then I'd be down. But if it's like kind of like a slow time in the year and this comes out and it's like even getting like 7s, you're like, yeah, it's pretty good, I'll probably pick it up and check it out, because I'm a sucker for loot and co-op. But subject matter doesn't do a whole lot for me. I like Batman enough, but I'm not like a fucking nutcase about it. I'm not like a super fan, so I wouldn't buy it based off that alone. But it looks serviceable. It looks like it's going to be at least fun, and I like that there's multiple characters that you can play as, and you can kind of switch that up in co-op. So it'll be fun to kind of like try out different characters and different tactics for different situations. Hopefully, the game allows for that. And yeah, the environments look good. The city looks good. I got no complaints there. I like how everything's like dark and cloudy, and it's got a good aesthetic to it. But yeah, there's just a couple things about the gameplay that at the very best I think will just work fine, and at the worst not be that great. So gotta cross my fingers and hopefully hope that they've made a fun gameplay formula here. But it looks fine. Looks fine. I wouldn't say I'm hyped for it, but like I said, when it comes out, and if it's slow time in the year and I want something to play that's like this, I could see myself picking it up for sure, especially if I know somebody else who's going to play it. Because if this game is co-op throughout the whole game, there's no way I'm playing it by myself. I got no interest in that. In fact, if this was a single player game, I probably wouldn't pick it up, which seems weird. Just that one difference, but the idea of playing this game co-op is pretty enticing for me. So, yeah. Anything else? All right. Well, that was Gotham Knights. Let us know in the comments what you think of the Nightwing and Red Hood gameplay demo. What excites you about it? What doesn't excite you about it? If you're one of the many people I've seen complaining about this game, I saw on Twitter a lot of people going like, that game looks like shit.
Really?
Yeah. I was actually, because I didn't watch this before I watched it, but I saw a lot of people on Twitter just complaining. I was like, oh no, is it that bad? I don't think it's that bad, but I get where some of the complaints are coming from. If you're one of those people, let me know in the comments what don't you like about it. If you are excited about it and there's a lot of cool things here you want to talk about, let me know in the comments as well. If you have any info on the knights, I believe Batgirl or something is in this game as well. I think they showed her off in early trailers of the game. I don't remember. Let me know in the comments. But if you have info on any of the stuff that we're talking about that we were ignorant of, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, are you picking this up? Are you not picking this up? Are you going to wait and see how it does? Excited for Suicide Squad, Rocksteady. That game will definitely be of a different quality. Let me know what you think of that. And yeah, let me know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to Gotham Knights and the gameplay that we watched. All right, so quick and easy, let's move into the end segment already, which is replying to your comments. We go back, we reflect on prior episodes that we've done, and then we read your comments. If you want your comment read for sure, type in hashtag AskTLG on your comment. It makes it easier for us to find it. I will prioritize your comment for sure, and it just kind of beelines you to the front of the line, especially if you had something you for sure want to hear us talk about in the segment. That's the best way to get read on the show. Otherwise, I pick at random. Yeah. We only have 2 videos, though, that have comments, so I will probably read most of them. We will see. So yeah, we reacted to Diablo Immortal on PC. We reacted to Evil Dead the game. And yeah, we talked about Project Q. So if you're curious about that, that was on TastyCast 165, the last TastyCast. So make sure to check that out. And yeah, we got some comments. So let's see. Before TastyFlix got taken down, I yelled TastyFlix in the comments so people remembered that TastyFlix exists. Let's see. Oh man, my contacts are fucked up. Let's see. Dash SS, is that what that says?
Yeah, Dash SS says the game has both crossplay and crossplay progression.
Thank you. Yeah, and this is in reference to Diablo Immortal. We discussed that hopefully because of its mobile nature, server nature, but also going to be on PC, hopefully it would have not only cross-play, which we assumed, it says, I think, in the trailer, but cross-progression. So thank you for the confirmation on that. And then, let's see, Order Divine Warrior says, Evil Dead game top 10. I don't know what is the top 10, like what else is in the top 10, but that it made the top 10.
Or top 10 what?
Yeah. Or yeah, maybe you want us to do a top 10 on Evil Dead. I assume that there's enthusiasm behind this, though. Yes. And I'm also very excited for it. So it will probably be in my top 10 Evil Dead games of all time. Because I think there's not any or very little of them. So. And then, let's see, Andrew Thatcher says, I made an Evil Dead fan game for PC. I hope you can check it out, as I love to see a gameplay vid. I still need to check that out. I looked at your channel, and I saw video of it. And if you indeed did make that, it looks pretty cool. It's like a 2D, like Streets of Rage-esque game where you run around as Ash and beat people up.
Brawler.
So, yeah, like a brawler. So I would definitely encourage anybody go check out his game if you're curious about that. It's Andrew Thatcher. He's got videos on his YouTube of it, and he's got a download, I think, over there for it as well. I didn't get a chance to play it. I've been very busy, but like I said, if you did make that game, good job. Like, from what I saw, it was impressive. I was expecting less, so definitely very cool that you even made a game. Very cool. All right. Thank you, everybody who commented on it. Do you have anything to say to any of these? These are all kind of general statements.
Yeah.
All of them, including myself. I did the same thing. I was fucking TastyFlix. All right. And then the last video, which was Plus Club, we reviewed Slay the Spire, Hood Outlaw and Legends, and SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm not going to say the rest of it because I said I wouldn't. So go check that out. We had a great conversation over there. Yeah. So let's see. We got a bunch of comments. Go ahead and read the Psycho Scream one.
Sure. Psycho Scream says, fucking love Slay the Spire, been playing it pretty much every day, and most likely will play it going forward. Maybe they'll make a second Slay the Spire with more characters, relics, and colorless cards. I can also vouch that he's been playing it, because every once in a while I look at Discord and it just says Slay the Spire. So he definitely it got its hooks into him. So I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. It's actually interesting. As you guys know, I do the full conversation over on Reddit every time I do Plus Club. So if you're curious about that, it's on PlayStation Plus subreddit. Every time we release the episode, I post the thing over there to discuss it further. And it was amazing how many people had no interest in Hood Outlaws and Legends, which kind of sucked because I think it's a pretty fun game, but I get it. And SpongeBob, people either liked it or didn't. But Slay the Spire, everybody fucking loved it. Everybody loved it. And I also like it a lot. So it's kind of cool to see. So on top of that, Psycho is also kind of on the same page. He really enjoyed it as well. And I agree 100%. I would love a Slay the Spire 2 with more of everything. It's got a great formula. It's got plenty of content, plenty of gameplay, as you know, since you've played it so much at this point, that they can only, as long as they can nail what they did with this game and just add more stuff, and I think enhance the visual style. I think that would be really cool, but not needed. I think Slay the Spire 2 would just fucking kill, because it's been well received.
They also have a lot of games to look at for inspiration now too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like a great time to expand on what they've already made popular. So yeah, I'm 100% on the same page as you. Like, I really enjoyed Slay the Spire. I have it on my phone. It's a great game to play on the go. You can like make a little bit of progress on your run and then just stop playing. So it's a lot of fun. And yeah, Slay the Spire 2 would be fucking sick. Yeah, anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you, Psycho. All right, Deep Idea 102 says, love your faces, guys. You're my favorite show before bedtime. Well, thank you. I would say we love your face too, but we don't see it. But love your name, love your comments when you do comment, and I'm glad that we're your favorite show before bedtime. Whether that is because you like listening to the full conversation, or we put you to sleep, because maybe it's just the perfect tone. You're just like, okay, I can fucking pass out.
I get it. My specifically my voice is super just low. So
yeah, well, there's certain stuff I can't watch when I'm trying to wind down anyway, especially anything where people are like either arguing, debating, yelling, being excited about shit. I get it. So, and I could kind of see the way we run the show being a good wind down show as well. So I appreciate you loving our faces and being your favorite bedtime show. So awesome to hear, and thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Hopefully we hear from you again soon. Can you read the next one?
Yeah. Tommy says, yeah, I was happy with FIFA 22. My dad plays FIFA games a lot, and we didn't buy the new edition last year. I understand people are not a fan, I'm assuming is what that's supposed to be, of it, but I haven't been a fan of most of the Plus games for a long time, so that's okay. LOL, last month we got Slay the Spire, which is fantastic, even though I already had it for PC, and I'm happy for the new people who got to find out about it.
Yeah. The thing that I was glad to see, I saw mentioned a couple times, and something we always try to be aware of, is PlayStation Plus is kind of a hard balance of trying to make everybody happy, and you just can't do it. It's impossible. So the best thing you do is try to make a diverse month of games that you can cover a bigger range. And so something I notice almost every single time when a sports game gets added is that a lot of people complain about it, which I think is interesting, because these games sell every year, these sports games. So, and plenty of people love sports. So I was just thinking about, like, you know, a lot of people like sports. Like, why wouldn't they release sports games? It's not for you, but there's 2 other games. Hopefully those are. So I'm always happy to see sports games added. And then on a personal note, I get excited because I don't play these games. They're not on my radar. So it gives me an excuse without me going out and buying it out of curiosity for no reason, because I probably won't continue to play it. It gives me a reason to dabble in these games, keep me a little more aware and sharp on where gaming as a whole is at, because I play a lot of types of games, but I don't play sports games, and so it gives me a little bit of an edge being able to talk about all games when I've actually have played FIFA, because it was on PlayStation Plus. And who knows, maybe I'll enjoy it. I always try to keep my mind open. So anyway, on that note, I saw a lot of people kind of mentioning like they are stoked for FIFA because they like FIFA, and yeah, so pretty much what you're saying, you know, you're excited for it as well, and you understand. So I just wish other people, and I think a lot of people do, but I wish more people would understand the opposite as well, of like, FIFA's coming out, I'm not excited for that, but you know, whatever, can't win every month. So
yeah, it's also really hard for me to kind of take a lot of those conversations seriously, though, because a lot of the people who are generally commenting on what's being released for PlayStation Plus are completely just worried about what they themselves are getting, which I understand. But they also have these expectations of like every month should be God of War, for example, which is just unrealistic.
But we also come towards PlayStation Plus in a communal sense, which the average consumer is not. The average consumer is just giving a company their money, and then you know, they have their complaints because they're like, I'm fucking paying for this, why the hell? It's like if you pay for Netflix, but there's never a show you want to watch on there. It makes sense to me, but it is interesting because like we have this perception because we have this show, and on you know, Plus Club, even on Reddit, more and more people are joining the conversation on that, and so there's this like almost community aspect where you should kind of think about like, I guess, PlayStation's place on like having to please everybody. And,
well, it's also interesting, I think, perspective as well, is that I've been pretty much paying for PlayStation Plus since its inception, off and on throughout the years.
Yeah.
And the price hasn't like gone up in crazy chunks like at a time. It's just gone up pretty, you know, steadily, as most things do. But like when they decided to do the feature of letting you get games instead of it just being access to multiplayer, that was just something they threw on there, and that's just been, it is now a staple of it, obviously, but that was just something like, hey, we want to give you another incentive to use this, we're going to give you a couple games every month type of deal. But there was unless I'm wrong, there was never a point where they're like, you're gonna get AAA games. Like that was never mentioned. So
no, and with the new tiers coming out soon, that where you'll have a catalog, I'm sure they will be putting some high-end older classic games on there.
Yeah, they already stated they're not doing day one stuff. So.
Yeah, and I don't think they should. I know it'd be competitive to do that, but Sony has like award-winning first-party games. They don't need to give those on first day, and
well, they don't need to compete on a one-to-one level either. They just need to be.
Thing too. And we don't got to get into a comparison discussion about you know, not Xbox Live, Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, but all these services are different. I mean, Nintendo's Switch's online service isn't the same.
You just get classic games,
yeah, and that makes people happy with that because that's what their demographic wants,
for sure.
And I think PlayStation Plus offering you, especially on their highest tier, back catalog of PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games, that is calling to their demographic. If you're a PlayStation fan, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and that was pretty much my point of it, was like, you know, they're doing the Sony version of something and Nintendo does the Nintendo version, and, you know, and then the consumer will be the ultimate judge at the end of the day, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But to kind of go back to the variety aspect of it, I think it's just a healthy mentality to have an expectation of, at the very minimum, you're going to get some games. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're going to own them already, and sometimes they're going to be in a genre you just don't like. And that's okay, because the games you like, someone else isn't going to like either. So,
and whether you participate in like Plus Club or not, I would urge people, if they want, they don't have to, but to just challenge themselves and play games that they typically wouldn't play.
Which is most of the games of the year for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. just so you can try them and know what they're like. I see often, and I don't judge it, as there's no negative to it, but like on Reddit, when people are like, yeah, I didn't download that game, it doesn't look cool to me. I'm like, well, that sucks. Not that it sucks that they didn't download it, but it sucks that the game didn't do anything for them.
Sure.
But in my brain, I'm like, but maybe you would have tried it, maybe you would have liked it. I've been surprised sometimes.
Well, and everyone's got different free time too and stuff like
Exactly.
that. So.
Oh, dude, so many people over there are like, I got kids, fucking, I let them play them, stuff like that. I'm like, that's cool. Like, at least you're getting something out of PlayStation Plus.
Completely understandable.
But moving on to the rest of the comment, I have not been a fan of most of the Plus games for a long time, so that's okay. So I mean, that happens sometimes. I luckily, because I do this as a show, I never have a month that I feel disappointed in, because it's essentially content for the channel. So it's always a good time because I get to have a cool conversation with people. But I get, if you're just fucking paying the money and playing the games and you get like a bunch of months where you don't get games you like, that would suck. But yeah, last month we got Slay the Spire, which is fantastic, even though I already had it for PC, and I was happy for the new people to find out the game. Yeah, and that's my mentality too. I've been really good this year. Financially, I'm just like, I need to fucking chill on buying everything, especially lately. But I had a tendency to just fucking buy any game I was curious about. And then a lot of times on PlayStation Plus, there's always at least one game I owned out of the three. And of course, for the channel, like I already explained before, I still am going to enjoy having the conversation at the end of the month about it. But if it's a game I like, I was always stoked that other people were going to play it. Again, I have a communal sensibility when it comes to the PlayStation Plus games, because of what I do with the channel, but also that socially, I like to know what people think about things. And so if there's a game out on PlayStation Plus, I will literally tell people like, oh, dude, this game's like dope. You should definitely download and check it out. And now you don't have to buy it. It's also nice too, sometimes I'll have a game like, Remnant from the Ashes that I'm like super into, fucking love. And then it comes out on PlayStation. And I'm like, oh, dude, I could get people to play it over there. They weren't going to buy it, but now they can just download it for free and play it. Yeah. And I'm really excited for them. So, I get that. And Slay the Spire is definitely one of those games, because a lot of people didn't play it. A lot of people did play and liked it, but like, it's a card game. And as I told a lot of people, I'm not into card games, but it's a lot of fun. Even over on Reddit, people were like, I'm not really into card games. It's a lot of fun. Like, it's a solid formula.
Yeah, card game is such like a broad term anymore.
That's why I like saying like deck builder, because it's even though you could call it like Magic the Gathering a deck builder card game, because you're literally building a deck, but just these on the fly games where you get new cards to throw in, it's easy to call deck builder, but
for sure.
Yeah. That they're having a rule set by cards, but also thinking about the gameplay as well, can create some really interesting gameplay. So,
yeah, I mean, you get the adventure game format, but the combat's done with cards, essentially. So I think it's a good marriage.
Replayability with the randomness to it. It's a really good formula.
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much agree with everything you said there, and glad for you to have expressed your thoughts on FIFA, because this is something we talk about often, and even though we're not big FIFA fans, there's plenty of them.
But your dad is.
Yeah.
So
which is cool. So.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
All right, and the last comment we got is from Arda.
Yep.
Saying, very cool idea. Thank you. I love doing this every month, and every time somebody discovers what we're doing and they appreciate what we're doing and joins in, or at least watches, I always really appreciate it. So thank you for the comment, and thank you for the support. Those comments always make me go, we're doing something cool here. So I enjoy doing it regardless, but that other people are enjoying it as well is always fucking awesome. So yeah. All right. Well, that is all the comments for the last couple episodes. And I think that's about everything for this episode. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of TasteCast, episode 166. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to check out our other episodes. Check out our socials and streams. Links down below. I really want to start streaming again. It's just been a schedule problem. I've been fucking busy, but I've been thinking about streaming a lot lately because I miss doing it. So hopefully look forward to that. Yeah, we're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. If you prefer to listen to us, check out our Discord. Link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. And we have a Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel more than liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. If you're brand new, I've been Seth. This has been Chevy. Thank you for joining me, Chevy. Thank you for joining me, everybody who watched the episode. Make sure to comment below what you thought about everything we talked about. And until the next episode, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.